Welcome to the Crypto Boss Andrew channel. Let me make sure the sound is working. We have 2 people watching on YouTube. If you guys are new, appreciate if you hit that like and subscribe button. We do go live twice a week, every single Saturday at 3 p.m. Central Time, and of course on Tuesdays today, 8 p.m. Central Time. Of course, I make videos throughout the week on both YouTube and TikTok. Sometimes I do post them to the same places, but a lot of the times the YouTube ones are a little bit different than TikTok ones. So right now, looking at Bitcoin, I'm looking at Ethereum. I want to go over to Bitcoin. Right now, looking at a Bitcoin, we are about to break, or at least I think we're about to break this resistance at 23,400. We're pretty low on the daily chart RSI, so that's one of the reasons I believe we are going to break this. Also, on the smaller time frames, I have this becoming a falling wedge, breaking to the upside, which would take you right to the next resistance at $25,000. So let's go to the smaller time frames. 4-hour chart looks good. Again, you're above the 200-day moving average by a long shot. That's all the way down at 19,800 on the daily chart. So very bullish that way. Out of this falling wedge that I did draw here, you did break further down than I expected. But the measure move is still $25,000. The thing short term is the 4-hour chart is making a lower high, so I don't really like that. The previous high on the 4-hour chart was basically 24,300. Right now, we're nowhere near that, but the smaller time frames are looking good to me. The 1-hour chart made a higher high, I believe. The 1-hour chart did make a higher high from the previous one. The previous high on the 4-hour chart was 23,100, so it's a little bit of a higher high. And the smaller time frames, such as the 15-minute chart, also look at this. The 15-minute chart has completely reset on the 50-minute chart on the stock RSI has completely reset. Basically, it's all the way down at 0, and you got almost no sell-off, which tells me bulls are stepping in. Smaller time frames look bullish to me, which will probably eventually lead to the larger time frames, meaning eventually I am looking for $25,000 probably in the next few days. Not financial advice, but that's just what I'm looking at. It's above the 200-day moving average on the 15-minute chart as well. So to me, I'm liking what I'm seeing on the smaller time frames for Bitcoin. 15-minute chart is saying that we are going to get more continuation, which I would expect now that you put a higher low in. The previous low was 22.8. Now you put one in at 23,300. That's a huge move on the 15-minute chart. Now I would expect a higher high above $23,450 for Bitcoin here in the short term. So with that being said, let's go over to Bookmap. Again, of course, I forgot to open it beforehand. If you guys are new, Bookmap basically just shows you where the liquidity is at on Bitcoin, where all the sell and buy orders are at. Because usually the price, when you look at Bookmap, usually the price goes to where the most liquidity is. So while that is loading, if you guys have requests for other coins, I will look at them after I look at Bookmap. So in about a minute or so, we can look at other requests. Appreciate it if you guys hit the like button. Yeah. So right now for Bookmap, make sure you guys can see it on TikTok. Right now, let me zoom out a little bit. It's showing that the price right there is at $23,300 basically. So if I zoom out a little bit, you have a lot of liquidity, a lot of sell orders up here at $25,000, more so than you have buy orders down here. So short term, that's another reason to believe we're going to $25,000. The RSI is low on the daily chart, and you're right at resistance. I think you're going to break on the daily chart and the larger time frames. And of course, there's a lot more liquidity up here at 25K. So that is big. Bookmap is suggesting 25,000 is the next stop, short term. Now, if we look out and zoom out a little bit further, let me keep zooming out. You still have a lot of liquidity down here at $10,000 to $15,000, but that is getting smaller. I still am not convinced the bottom's not in. That the bottom is in, I should say. But as that gets smaller, it's more and more likely that the bottom is in. So short term, 25,000 is kind of what Bookmap is saying. You have a little bit more liquidity up here at 27,000, but not nearly as much as you do at 25,000. But as we get closer to 27,000, that might grow a little bit. You also have liquidity to the downside here at 20,500, but I would expect at least to come to 25K, and then maybe you get a nice dump to, back to the 20K region. I do believe there's a CME gap down there, so I think at some point that will fill anyway. But short-term, $25,000 is what Bookmap is basically suggesting. So that's what we're looking at on Bookmap. Another coin that I was looking at is Jasmy Coin. Jasmy Coin right now doing pretty well. So Jasmine hit our target, right? My target was 657, but I also said the next step would be 8/10 of a penny. Maybe 8.3 was actually my real resistance, and you got to wick right to that area. Now, the next thing for Jasmine is the daily chart is overbought, completely overbought. Can't go much higher on the daily chart. So, but I like this. You're above the 200-day moving average. That is now down at support at 6/10 of a penny. So I'm looking at what I'm seeing from Jasmine, not so much on the larger time frames because I think you're due for a sell-off. You broke out of that falling wedge, right, to the upside. And the 4-hour chart, though, the 4-hour daily chart is suggesting you are about done on Jasmine. The 4-hour chart, look at this. It's only at 60 on the RSI, and it goes up to 100. So 4-hour chart is definitely suggesting you could break this resistance. If you were to do that, you'd be basically looking at a penny Jasmine. The 1-hour chart, let's see how that's looking. The 1-hour chart's kind of doing the same thing, kind of flagging out on the smaller time frames, and not really getting much of a dump. Let's look at the 15-minute chart for Jasmine. 15-minute chart kind of, flagging out a little bit. To me, that looks like a bull flag on the 15-minute chart. Definitely another higher low put in. So it looks like Jasmine wants to continue to the upside. I'm saying the next stop is a penny. If you don't get back above 83% of a penny, the next stop to the downside is at 6/10 of a penny, where on the daily chart you have the 200-day moving average. So I think there's a little bit more steam left in the tank for Jasmine to continue up to a penny to the next resistance. Not financial advice, but that's just what I'm looking at. But larger time frame is ready to get a nice correction. Smaller time frames definitely look ready to continue up. But I won't be buying in here at this point. Not financial advice, but I wouldn't want to buy into a pump. If you're already in a trade, just move your stop loss up if you don't want to exit yet, because I think there's a little bit more steam left in the tank, possibly for Jasmine in the coming days. With that being said, guys, that's all I got for Jasmine. If you guys enjoyed this, appreciate if you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next update. All right, so now I can post that after I get done with the live stream, and I see some requests on YouTube, so let me go do that. Jasmine, yep, Gary says Jasmine, we just looked at it, all in PRQ, only $35 million market cap. Okay, congrats. I don't know what PRQ is, but we can look at it if you guys want me to. Do you think Tesla will drop before the end of the week? It has not been performing very well. I just looked at the Tesla stock price today. Usually I don't care about the stock market, but I have traded Tesla before. I don't know enough about it to say if I think it's going to drop. But I will say this. I can't tell you. I just know it hasn't been performing super well. So, I mean, if you want me to, I can look at the chart and let you know what I think. But I can't give you predictions like that. But someone does want me to look at Chainlink, so let's go look at Chainlink. Chainlink right now at $7.21. It just broke this resistance at $7.21. Now my next stop for Chainlink would be $7.80. That was your rejection that you got on the 30th of November of last year. On the daily chart, it is looking like that Chainlink wants to rip to the upside, right? You're completely oversold, getting a small bounce on the daily chart RSI. Basically, right sitting on the 200-day moving average. On top of that, you're sitting at support. So 3 very bullish things right now happening for Chainlink to get a suggestion, at least on the daily time frame. You could see at least 780. And if you break 780, your next macro resistance is 1170, 1160. Let's go to the 4-hour chart and see how the Chainlink is looking. 4-hour chart technically has not put in a higher high. The higher high, you would want to see a move above 750, but that could definitely happen. The 4-hour chart could get pinned and that would happen, but that's what I would want to see to be bullish on the 4-hour chart. I'm bullish on the daily chart. The 1-hour chart, the 1-hour chart has put in a higher high like that. Now you'd want to see a higher low above 690 basically. And the 15-minute chart already reset, kind of like Jasmine. 15-minute chart is completely reset and did not really fall at all much. I'm looking for more momentum to the upside. I bet you see $7.80 at least before your next macro dump, possibly higher prices. If you break 780, I'm expecting a nice breakout to the next resistance around 1160, like I just said. So that's it for Chainlink. Chainlink actually looks just as good as Jasmine right now, in my humble opinion. Larger time frames, actually, I think Chainlink looks better than Jasmine because Jasmine was overbought on the daily time frame, and this is just getting started on the daily time frame. Chainlink could be one to watch and might be a nice swing trade to possibly 1160. I know there's resistance before that, but that's, I mean, there's a little resistance around $9. Yeah, there's definitely resistance. I didn't see that, but $9 is resistance, and then 1160 would be your next stop. So if you break $9, I'm looking for 1160 on Chainlink. So that is what I'm looking at. Someone did say PRQ. I want to go see what that is. PRQ. It's on. We'll use a KuCoin chart. Supposedly it's only a $35 million market cap. It's well above the 200 moving average. Daily chart is cooked, getting the nice pump up 7% in the last hour or so. It's kind of risky, I would say, at these prices. Not these. Well, after it's pumped, I should say. Market cap's pretty low. 4-hour chart, it's pinned and over about. 1-hour chart is getting the nice dump. The price isn't, but the RSI is. So that's a higher low, very much a strong uptrend on PRQ. And the 15-minute chart has completely reset, and it has, for right now, definitely put in a higher low. The previous one was 15.4 cents. Now you're putting one in all the way up at 21.4, 21.3. I guess technically the low was 18.7. That's a strong continuation. PRQ short-term, smaller time frames look like it wants to continue at least for another few hours. But large 4-hour chart and daily chart are cooked, so be careful. I'm still trading. I'm still in Trump coin. I might add to Trump coin. Actually, it's one of my degenerate moves. I might add to Trump coin on Saturday this weekend if we don't get a pump before then. If we're still at these prices, 100K market cap, 110K market cap, I'll probably add. Not financial advice. That's just what I'm doing. Appreciate it. Andrew C says, great TA as always. State of the Union is on right now. Let's go, Brandon. Let's see if Mr. Hair Sniffer's comments affect the markets. I guess we'll see. If there's any more requests, let me know, and I will look at them. Hopefully you all having a good day. I'm going to go back to Ethereum now. Yeah, Ethereum. Let's go look at Ethereum. I'm going to trade on Ethereum from $1,700. And it's at 1680 right now. So, but daily chart is just getting started for Ethereum. So I'm expecting your next stop is 1795. If you can get back above 1700, actually, technically, as long as you stay above 1670, your next stop is basically $1,800. That is the next resistance. And that is kind of what I'm targeting is $1,800. If you break 1,800, I would possibly look for a move up to basically $2,000 on Ethereum. I guess you could say 1980 was technically the resistance, but so if you break 1800, I'm looking for 1980 on Ethereum. I like what I'm seeing on Ethereum on the macro timers. 4-hour chart is a little sketchy to enter right now if you're not already in. 1-hour chart is as well, but they're putting in higher highs and probably higher lows as well. 15-minute chart getting the nice dump without much of a correction. We're seeing a lot of coins do that on the smaller time frames. So a lot of coins to me, all coins look really juicy right now. Ethereum. Also, 15-minute chart looks bullish to me. 1-hour chart and 4-hour chart would need to reset before I'd want to enter a trade if I wasn't already in a position. But Ethereum is also looking juicy for more upside. I would be very surprised if in the next few days or week or so you don't at least see $1,800 based on what I'm looking at on the daily chart for Ethereum. But anything can happen. It could dump at any time, so just be cautious. This is something I haven't brought up or looked at recently. But Fear and Greed Index is getting up there. It's at 58 right now. If you guys can't see it on TikTok, if I can talk, you're in greed right now. So be cautious, right? Be cautious. But I still like what I'm seeing in the overall market right now. What do I think of AXL? Just added to Coinbase today. AXL. I've never ever heard of it. It seems like every week. I don't know if they're still adding a ton of coins to Coinbase. I don't pay much attention. I don't know anything about this. I don't know the market cap is. I don't know anything. 15-minute chart is obviously putting a higher low. So I like what I'm seeing on that. I have no clue what this is though. I have no clue what AXL is. But technically, 15-minute chart is bullish. That's about the only time frame I have data on right now. Unless I went to like the 7-minute time frame. So to me right now, I like what I'm seeing. You could almost say this is probably a bull flag on AXL. So I kind of like what I'm seeing. It's probably a little sketchy to trade because it's new on Coinbase. I'd personally stay away from new assets on Coinbase. You could say that's actually a bull pennant. So that would be nice, right? That would be a nice move to the upside. If you don't use the wicks, the measure move would take you back to $1.20 for a slightly higher high. If you do want to use the wicks, it'd be much, much higher. But yeah, $1.20 possible for AXL. We'll see what happens. I'll put alert at $1.20 just to see if I'm right. But we'll see. AXL looks good to me on the 15-minute chart. RSI is oversold and getting ready to pump here, probably. Not financial advice. I could be wrong. It's a brand new coin, so it could keep dumping, honestly. But to me, 15-minute chart looks juicy. RSI reset, and it looks like it's a bull pennant or a bull flag, whatever you want to call it. So. And I've already looked at Jasmine, so if you guys want to go rewatch that, it is on my YouTube. I'll post a video on it later. Otherwise, you can rewatch the live stream. With that being said, guys, I'm looking for Bitcoin to continue pumping to $25,000 in the next coming days. Bookmap suggests the same thing, so that's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. I think a lot of coins are going to keep going to the upside this week. At some point, you're getting your retracement. Also, Ethereum right now on the 15-minute chart is making what I like to say a falling wedge. I just saw that. I did not see that moments before. Actually, I don't think it was on the 15-minute chart before, so that's why I didn't zoom in enough. On higher assets with a higher market cap, I'm okay with using the wicks to see what the measured move would be. Your measured move on Ethereum, it would be basically 17.19. So that is a small time frame look, but to me that's a falling wedge. Ethereum is probably going to be above $1,700 in the next coming hours. That's just what I'm looking at right now, and that would mean my trade would be in the green. So I like that. So with that being said, guys, that's kind of all I got. If you guys have other requests, let me know. Otherwise, that's kind of all I got. I'll be back live Saturday, 3 p.m. Central Time. Hopefully, you all have a great week. And I'm going to close this tab. All right. So, yeah, that's kind of all I got, guys. My top dollar makers in my portfolio are Bitcoin and Jasmine. Well, that's awesome. I figure with Jasmine partnership with Acura, Honda should see upside. I actually don't really follow the news on that. I probably should because I go over it all the time. I just follow the TA. But the TA has been bullish on Jasmine. So because of that, I guess that probably meant there was bullish news. I just never checked. But with that being said, guys, that's all I got. I'll be back live Saturday, 3 p.m. Central Time. If you guys enjoyed this, appreciate if you like and subscribe. Drop a follow. Drop a subscribe if you're on YouTube. Share this video with your friends. Join our Telegram group. It is free. I'm trying to get that active again. And with that being said, guys, I'm going to get on out of here. I will see you guys on Saturday for our next live stream. And until then, trade safe. Have a great week. And I'll see y'all very, very soon. My YouTube channel is Crypto Boss Andrew. Crypto Boss Andrew. I'm going to end this stream and I'll go to it.